My people, Super Bowl Sunday, SandCity Sports. We in the building. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. Go across our socials. Make sure that we're locked in. Super Bowl Sunday. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yes, sir. Fly, Eagles, fly. Okay. The IG is on. Let's see what's going on with Facebook. Facebook, what's going on? I got to refresh. You need refreshment? Facebook's been needing refreshment recently. But we live on Facebook as well. We got that refresh going on. Facebook needs the refresh. YouTube is good. What's going on with Twitter? It's called Twitter. I don't know about this X. It's called Twitter. I don't know. Twitter is, yes, sir. Already, A. That's my man right there. Barack already made it clear what this episode is going to be about. He made it clear what this episode is going to be about. We're going to save that. I need that. Hold on. We're going to have to get another Twitter. Because one Twitter is going to have to be just to check the show. We need another Twitter because we're going to be on Twitter quite a bit this evening. We're going to be on Twitter quite a bit this evening. Okay, okay, done. Be live. Okay, I'm all right. X that one out. And where's Twitch at? Where's Twitch? We good? Is Twitch good? Looks like Twitch is good. On and popping. How's everybody doing? Yes, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and the Eagles put it on them. They put it on them from the jump. This was, okay, overdue in terms of what happened in the last Super Bowl, which we're going to get to. I can't tell you how elated I am right now. I told you, your boy from the Garden State. I'm from the Garden State, very proud to be from New Jersey, okay? If you can't get down with the boss, if you can't get down with James Gandolfini, okay, and the Sopranos, all right? If you can't get down with the pride of Camden, DeJuan Wagner. We got DeJuan Wagner Jr. right now balling at Arkansas, was at Kentucky, okay? Very proud of him, even though, hey, stand up, New York, stand up. Even though you know what time it is in the NBA, and my Knicks had a tough time last night against the Celtics, we're going to have to discuss that. We're going to have to discuss what Jason Tatum did to my Knicks in the third quarter specifically. But tonight it's all Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I made it clear in previous episodes. Have family in the city of brotherly love. Yes, we're not going to check the receipts. I was pulling for Dan Campbell and the Lions. I was pulling for the dude, but I made it clear back then, and I'm not going to step back from it in any way, shape, or form right now. Okay? It has to be Eagles first. It has to be Eagles first based on the history. Okay? My uncle, however you want to put it, my Aunt Nola, Milton, call him Uncle Milton, huge Eagles fan. I'm so happy for them right now. I know the city is going wild. We have to celebrate safely. You, me, everybody, Eagles fans, celebrate safely tonight, okay? But go out there and enjoy yourself. Brick cold, but hey, snow on the ground, but hey, Eagles are the Super Bowl champions, and they did it not in a shy way. They didn't do it in a shy way, folks. They went out there, put it on them. Now, you and I felt the same way when that first doggone offensive pass interference was called. We've almost forgotten about that, but we haven't forgotten about that because it was ridiculous. Okay, Eagles came out putting it on them, going for it on fourth down and going over the top. That was clearly not pass interference, and just setting the tone. Now, we almost forgot because that, you know what I mean. Credit to the refs and this crew, because that first, early in the game jitters. People have Saquon started kind of slow. We're just Eagles fans are I can't even, and I'm not going to act as if, because I work with a great colleague of mine who's a diehard Eagles fan. The love for me is not at that level, so I'm not going to act like I was on the, I'm not jumping on any bandwagons, but let's make it clear. Based on the history, based on Randall Cunningham, based on my man Rocky, who you might see tonight, based on my connection. Born in the great state of New Jersey, family in Philadelphia, going for generations. Okay, the Eagles are my team. I'm not super fan Eagles, but that's my team. If I have to root for a team in the NFC, as I said before, I was pulling for the Lions. They didn't get it done. Okay, but the Eagles' love has to usurp them. So I am thrilled. Need to go out and get some paraphernalia. Got to check, you know what I mean? I gotta get some Eagles paraphernalia. Should have had it beforehand, because you know what I mean. I got my next gear, but I need some Eagles paraphernalia. Okay, that's somewhat, but it's not really. I'm not, you know what I mean. Check the receipts. All right, but we got to give credit to the officiating crew. Credit to the officiating crew, because there was a third down pass interference 50-50 that went the Eagles' way, went their way, and then right, you're balanced. All right, I referee. I'm not coming off of this hill, whatever you want to call it. We were robbed previous Super Bowls with that horrendous pass interference call. We were robbed. Now, Andy Reid is 3-2 in Super Bowls. Classy organization, right? You act like you've been there before when you win, and you, because you know the pain. What did Pat Riley say? There's only two things in sports. There's winning and there's misery. So Chiefs Nation, Chiefs Kingdom, a lot of misery out that way. Now, you did get the last two. But still, you can't take nothing for granted. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this because my homeboy, is this the end of my homeboy's early, right? Is this the end of this momentum that he's had early on in his career? Is it going to be time for the Josh Allens and Lamar Jacksons and the Joe Burrows and, dare I say, the Trevor Lawrences to you know what I mean? Dare I say, the Drake Mays to get some of this Super Bowl wealth? Right? We know that there was a decade in between runs for the Patriots and Tom Brady. A decade. There was the early, all right, and then there was the later, right? They weren't supposed to get that one against the Seahawks. Weren't supposed to get that one, but they did. Okay? And weren't supposed to get that one. Appreciate Aunt Diggity. I appreciate you on Twitter. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, folks. Jump in. Anybody. Okay? Send me, hit the chat up. If anybody wants to jump on, you don't have to jump on. I don't have to see your face. If you want to just jump on your phone and weigh in, you're more than welcome. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, whatever the case may be. Drop a comment. I got to make sure I check. Okay, I can only check, but I'm going to go through and check my comments. If anybody wants to jump in, I'll throw the link right in there. Jump on the show. Keep it positive. Keep it respectful. Keep it uplifting, and you can weigh in however you want to weigh in. A lot to talk about tonight. A lot. Fly, Eagles. That's not it. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. I'm thrilled for the city of brotherly love. Okay, coming from the great state of New Jersey. And my people, again, celebrate safely, but yes, there's going to be some paraphernalia. I don't care. I got to get it. I got to get my Eagles paraphernalia. Maybe just straight Eagles, but then, come on, folks. We got to share the screen. We got to spread the wealth, man. We got to spread the wealth in terms of what's going on right now, man. In terms of what we're talking about. Okay, we're gonna spread the wealth. Share it, folks. Sharing is caring. You see Taylor Swift out there? Is that Taylor with the Eagles? We're not gonna take it there. We're not gonna take it there, right? Right? Taylor already got 100K. This. Hold on. It's 10:59. This just came out at 10:18. Over 100K and growing. It's gonna hit a million. It's gonna hit a million. Okay, because the Eagles, Super Bowl champions, right? Wasn't necessarily the favorites. People were talking Detroit. All right, San Francisco fell off. It was, but right, people didn't know if they could get past Washington. They had to go against the Chiefs. People saying it was going to be close. They was favoring the Chiefs. They went in there and mollywop Kansas City, which we're going to get into. That was a Mike Tyson first round knockout for this team. Okay, and speaking of receipts, we don't pay running backs, right? We don't need to pay running backs, do we? Okay, right? We don't need. No, that's Sirianni. Sirianni was yelling at fans early in the year. Okay, and this Eagles team had their went through their go through. They went through some go-through. He was yelling at fans. People was calling for his job. But once, after the bye week, once they hit their stride, forget about it. Forget about it. Okay? It was on. And we don't remember the Giants. No. Daniel Jones is our guy. Daniel Jones is our guy. Running back, we can go get a running back in the draft. You're disposable. You're replaced. Working class people out there, have we heard that? You don't bring anything extra to the table when you're out there working hard, grinding, making sure that you go the extra mile, but the company wants to look at you some type of a way and treat you like you ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's what Saquon was a short time ago. Now the Giants kept everybody. I'm not a fan of firing people. I'm not a fan, of zero tolerance. Okay, and all right. People is calling, and all of a sudden they want, you know what I mean? You're trying to call me. I don't know. It's going crazy right now. They're saying you got to go here, you got to go there. I don't know. Okay, right now it's Eagles. It's Eagles time. It's just the Eagles time. I can't address this other stuff that's going on. We full Eagles right now. Okay. Yeah. Receipts, kept them. Receipts over here, kept those. Okay. And Saquon handled it with class. I think he could have got the rushing record. Again, you get down how you want to get down. It was going to be an evolutionary thing with the rushing record because he did have more games, just like Eric Dickerson had more games than OJ when he broke the record. But hey, we're going to 18 games and the whole line. Now, I would have liked to see Saquon get the record. I'm sorry, I would like to see him get the record. But it's not even an asterisk, right? Because the goal was accomplished. Right, so now you say we would have liked to add on, but you can't prove a negative. Could have went out there, gotten hurt, or who knows what would have, could have, should have. All right, it would have nice to see him get that record. But what's even on a whole nother level, okay, right? When people talk that talk, and you don't even respond, you just become more successful. I borrowed that, by the way, from Uncle Shannon. We talked a bit about Sterling getting in the Hall of Fame, which I'm 1,000% in support of. Okay. And I feel that there's no problem with Eli waiting his turn. And Sterling waited many and many years to get this moment. So shout out to the Sharp brothers, both deserving in the Hall of Fame. That's my strong view. And we can have that conversation about longevity, which Sterling wasn't able to get. We will have that. I talked about it before. That's conversation. But right now, fly, Eagles, fly. This is fly, Eagles, fly time, folks. Okay. Yes. Can we talk about Jalen Hurts getting the first Super Bowl before Josh Allen and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow? Can we talk about Jalen getting that first Super Bowl? And who knows? We are going to go back and look at that ridiculous pass interference. Yes, that's going to happen. Okay, because this could be Super Bowl number 2. Those calls matter. All of this Patrick Mahomes and all-time greatness and all the rest of that stuff. He was gifted, given, silver plate, silver spoon on a platter. That Super Bowl. Ridiculous. Preposterous. Obnoxious. Unnecessary. That call. That decided the game. All right? Absurd. Okay? It's in the past. But all of that is here right now. Okay? The Eagles, America, everybody stolen from us based on that awfulness. And as I credited the refs for the first pass interference was why do people, that was to say, here we go again, because Josh Allen got the first down and that catch was dropped. That catch was a drop. So 2 pivotal calls. Bills were rolling. They keep the ball. Who knows what happens? And that was a drop, that pass. He dropped the pass. Never mind them both coming down. The ball hit the ground. They didn't review it, none of that. Okay? You got 2 pivotal calls wrong in that game. And you started this game with some foolishness. Now, they went back. They didn't go back. They balanced. This is what we say in officiating. You balance the scales. right? If you have a 50-50, it goes against this team, then you need a 50-50 to go against that team. You balance the scales. All right. Shout out to Antoine Fuqua. Shout out to Brooklyn's Finest. If you like Training Day and you haven't seen Brooklyn's Finest, you're cheating yourself. Don't cheat yourselves. Treat yourselves. Go out and see Brooklyn's Finest. Okay. It's not about right and wrong sometimes. It's about righter and wronger. Brooklyn's Finest. Not a, you like training? Oh, I got to get it for you on the screen. We're going to get that for you on the screen in a second. Okay. But this is, hold on, over already, what, 110 and growing in terms of peoples. All right. And this team together, Howie Roseman, people were slandering him. Nick Sirianni slandering him. Keep those receipts, people. I saw a good quote that was put out. I'll never forget who gave me a hard time when I was having a hard time. Yes. I'll never forget them that gave me a hard time when I was having a hard time. Okay? Hey. Right? People can't wait to kick you when you're down. They cannot wait. Don't trust no smiles. None of that stuff. People, whatever it's in our nature, not in our nature, whatever the case may be, if you go down, just expect the boots to come. You're going to catch boots when you go through your go through. Boots. Okay? Hold on to those moments. Hold on to those moments. Before you clap back and fire off at people that's doing the shady and the griminess, hold on to those moments. Hold them. Because you're going to need them when you start climbing back on that mountain. And you're going to definitely remember, cherish, dare I say, when you get to the top of that mountain. All those folks that gave you the kick when you was going through your go-through and went down. Okay? Those things are most valuable when your comeback reaches its fullness and you get to the top of the mountain. Okay? So Nick Sirianni, all right? Again, I'm an Eagles fan. I didn't have a problem with, Nick Sirianni. Now obviously it's easy to say now because he's on the top of the mountain. I feel like they did lose some people. Their OC left after the first Super Bowl when we were robbed by the ridiculous pass interference. So they had to restock the cupboard. Whatever you want to say. Just a quick aside about Nick Saban and Alabama and NIL and people, losing their minds, even though other people are thriving. John Shire is thriving in his NIL. People don't want to talk about that. They don't want to tell these stories about those that are balling in the NIL era. They want to talk, the Bruce Pearls of the world are balling. Now, whether NIL is good for college sports overall, and that's a different story. Okay, but it just comes down to, times change. Times change. And some of the old guard, a lot of the old guard, frankly, and it was tough to lose Jim Larinaga and Jay Wright and a number of others of the just stalwart coaches. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But times change. What does this have to do with Nick Sirianni and the Eagles? Your boy Nick Saban, as much as NIL, and we disagree on that, he always kept that brain trust. He always kept the brain trust, okay, full. Lane Kiffin go, Bill O'Brien come in. Bill O'Brien, okay. So, and frankly, I think he could have continued on beyond the aggravation of just having to, and it is a lot of aggravation. I get all of that, so on and forth. But Nick Saban would, people he would have coaches. Kirby Smart with his former coach. Kirby leave, we bringing somebody else in. And he took a national championship from Kirby last year. And Georgia should have been in the playoffs last year after losing that. That's what I mean. But okay, so Nick Sirianni, he had to learn that, right? Dan Campbell's gonna have to learn that next year. Oh yes, that's a huge loss of Ben Johnson, who came back specifically for this year to get it done, and they got embarrassed against Washington. So Dan Campbell loses his offensive coordinator, loses his defensive coordinator. He got to get a little Nick Saban up in him. He got to restock that cupboard so that things just keep going. But in terms of the Eagles, there was a drop-off. They had to lose people, and they had to get some good people back in there and build it back up, which they've done. And now, hey, when you win, so I hope everybody comes back for next year. But if the Eagles continue to have success, as I hope they do, Sirianni's going to have to reshuffle the deck again because he's going to be losing some OCs, some DCs, some of his pivotal brain trust. And that's just how you have to, right? Belichick did that during the successful years before he went crazy. before he went buck wild and started hiring people to be offensive coordinator with no background in offense. Okay, but during the dynasty, the Bill was always reshuffling the deck and having people with him. Okay, happy for Bill Belichick if he's happy. I want to see Bill Belichick in the NFL going for Shula's record. That's what I want to see. If he wants to be in North Carolina in the nice weather, coaching up college kids, then so be it. So be it. You never know. You never know, man. Okay, and now Bill is out, living his best life. And I was actually over on Nantucket yesterday. Got stuck on the island. Your boy was stuck because the game went to double overtime. Now, is that really? But then I had to look at myself. I had to think, what is this? Even though I lost some hours were lost, right? FYI for people, you come to the Cape in the off season, those boats don't run on every hour or every other hour in the off season. No. Every 3-4 hours the boat's coming, which makes sense. But doggone it, when you went over for 11 o'clock game, was planning on coming back on the 120 boat, be back 2:30. Okay, I can get a couple things done. No. Double OT thriller in terms of refereeing. It was great to see. And actually, a team came all the way down from Ayers Shirley, which is over 2 hours away from the Cape up near the New Hampshire border. So, I was upset, not low key upset, but then it dissipated. You just take it like with a grain of salt. Good day, nice day. Went out, took in some of the island life and air. Had sat at a great restaurant. Shout out to Backyard Barbecue over near the docks on Nantucket. Great hospitality, great people. It was went swimmingly, and then got a chance because I'm a land lover, folks. Your boy's a land lover. I can swim and all the rest of that stuff, but I ain't no sea captain out there on the high. No. So I went on the docks a little bit, but then I was like, hey, let me come on back. Let me come on back. I ain't got my sea legs under me. Let me come on back. Okay. But it worked out. I got a chance, as I was saying, came back, so on and far. You got to roll with the punches. Whether it's a delay in your travel schedule, okay, whether it's losing coaches, whether it's a slow start, whatever the case may be. All right. And on the side of the victors, that is, my, what this is meaning for me. Right? Because we talked about it, and now we're going to get it for you on the screen. Yeah. No. I need the original. Yes. Let's bring this up. Okay, folks, here we go. We got it. You can't see what I'm talking about, but you're going to see what I'm talking about. Let's pull it up, get it to where it needs to be. All right. What's going on, my people checking in with me? Appreciate you. Whatever platform that you're on, let me go ahead before we. All right. I appreciate my people that's checking in. Super Bowl Sunday, SandCity Sports. We're with you. Okay. Rocking live. I don't see any comments on my socials. I can see the comments on the IG. See how we doing? Anybody, any commentary? Appreciate Ed Diggity on the Twitter space. Twitch is going. We got a couple viewers on Twitch that's rocking with us. Excellent. We got to share the screen. We have to do this in terms of what this really means. Right? The meaning. Okay? Because this was the awfulness. Okay, right? affected nothing. That wasn't a catchable ball. This here, okay, ticky-tack. Ticky-tack. The ball, right? Nothing. Oh, nothing. Allowed them to kill the clock. No, come back to that. Appreciate Omni Productions. Appreciate you. This decides a Super Bowl. Okay? Hold your whistle. Hold it. Hold it. No, we don't need you stepping in. Hold the whistle. And then the reason that it's more egregious is because the referees, you can get together. You can get together to say, I don't care, Patrick Mahomes, all right? You're gifted a Super Bowl. That's why tonight is even more special. Even more special. Okay? Because we haven't forgotten that outlandishness, which prevented everybody from seeing the game conclude, and the Eagles specifically from having the opportunity to win that Super Bowl. All right? So today, the refs stayed where they were supposed to, which is on the periphery, managing a great game, orchestrating a great game, allowing for a great game. And that's what we had from the standpoint. It wasn't, the final score is not reflecting, because this game wasn't close, 24-0 at the half. And then the Eagles kept the pressure on them in the third, and so the Kansas City scored late, and so it looks like it was no. We know this game was over. This was a Mike Tyson knockout. It wasn't a Mike Tyson knockout. All right. And so, hey, before we go over and talk about the other side of the coin and what this means, a lot of implications, okay, in terms of the hierarchy on Mount Olympus and where people find themselves. All right. But we're staying with the Eagles. Let's just start. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP, another person. I hope he kept all the receipts, every single last one of them. And what we're tying to this is this could be his second Super Bowl MVP, his second championship, based on absurdity. And folks, by the way, we will be discussing the halftime show. I'm just going to put that out there for you. We're going to discuss the halftime show. Okay, which in terms of the game was kind of in hand, but people had a lot to say about the halftime show. I'm just going over, so we're going to discuss that. Okay, really quickly for me, I'm not a spring chicken. So Kendrick Lamar, he's a talented guy. Went to the White House, visited Obama. Just Obama kind of. To me, I look at Kendrick Lamar like a new look Nas, that just has a consciousness, and he's coming from a pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of background and all of that. But he certainly has a perspective that is beyond just urban sprawl in America. Okay. And certainly he and Drizzy Drake went back and forth last year, which was all the rage. And that whole thing kind of ties in. But that being said, I thought the choreography and everything else was good. Don't know all the songs. I just know Not Like Us, frankly. And then some of the other things ring a bell. But people, threw that right into the halftime show, right into the culture war, which I guess is just how it goes down. And had strong opinions on both sides, which is wonderful. So let's have a conversation. That's why democracy is beautiful and wonderful, because it's about conversation with people who see things differently. Guess what? Human beings see things drastically differently, and that's been the case since the dawn of time. Okay, it's about how we navigate those differences that makes makes all the, I'm not going to use difference again, that makes all of the it's tough not to, how we navigate those differences. How we navigate those differences makes all of, it's tough not to use difference there. Can't pronounce. How we navigate those differences makes all of the And I gotta rephrase because you can't use anything else but difference. But you know what I'm saying. We know what I'm saying. We gotta find that common ground. Okay, and we will. But I have to finish with my Eagles. I'm gonna go over to KC, and then we'll talk about the halftime show. Um, and then we'll look at the forecast for the NFL going forward. We're going to keep hoops on. We'll get to hoops going into this week. And my Knicks, and they're beat down by the Celtics when they made the game close and they embarrassed themselves, but not too much, there. Okay, so Jalen, right, having to climb Mount Olympus before other people, even though he's not kept, his name is not in that same category as other people. People were saying, let Jalen Hurts, beat you, make Jalen Hurts beat you, right? I ain't gonna say no names, but that was out there. Make Jalen Hurts beat you. Super Bowl MVP, right? Somebody that was at Bama. Speaking of Bama, and Nick Saban said we going with Tagovailoa. You say, okay, I'm taking my talents to Oklahoma. Taking my talents to Oklahoma, and taking my talents to the NFL. All right, and so Jalen Hurts, he's a guy. You gotta appreciate folks like that. That's always had to, nothing was given. Always had to grind. Took the arrows. All right, took the anonymity. Have been doubted. Okay, and that's another thing we're going to discuss because the Marble Man's taking some hits now. My homeboy's taking some hits. How's he going to respond? It's tough to be the pin up this or the marble that. Everybody thinks it's all good and well and jolly all the time, but it's not. Okay, so again, before with my Eagles, the Eagles, fly, Eagles fly. Let's see. It's just joy. I'm thrilled. Okay, so I'm seeing here that the president was in attendance, and that factors into the halftime show. Shout out to Hubie Brown. Shout out to Hubie Brown. His last broadcast was today. That has to be noted. We will touch on this. Okay, so Serena, yep. Okay. Just going down here. All right. I'm not seeing anything specific to the Eagles. I'm not seeing people in the street. Woo! Serena out there putting it down for Compton. And we will discuss that. We will discuss that. Okay. All right. Not the best viewing, me viewing other things. Okay, just to kind of get we gotta improve that production value. Would have been better if I shared the screen there. I gotta learn. Better if I actually know it's not better if I share the screen because you never know what you're gonna get on Twitter. So I was perusing, and going forward, we have these things lined up beforehand. No, I can't share the screen because Twitter is just out of this world, and I can't be responsible for all the madness that you see going down your timeline on Twitter. So that's just how I had to get down. Not seeing the Eagle celebrations just yet appearing, but I did get further right because I'm watching. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know. I watched the halftime show, but then I'm kind of doing some other things, so I'm not locked in. But okay, so Serena was there. Serena was doing the walk. Uh, okay, and that's kind of consistent with what frankly we saw last year when the Drake and Kendrick thing was going on, and they had shows in Los Angeles, and everybody and their mama, everybody with an LA connection was at the show and out there on stage doing the dance and all the rest of that stuff. So planning to get into there because the halftime show, the world is watching, America is watching. And even though you pick individuals from, the NFL and the cash cow that it is, and Roger Goodell is no dummy, right? Now, Roger Goodell is no dummy, whether you agree, disagree, whatever. That man has a private jet for the rest of his life based on the contract. Based on, you check out his contract, $40-50 million a year. And it's because he knows how to run a league and he knows how to maximize. And the Super Bowl, the biggest sporting event in America by far. All right, he maximizes that. And so you want, for me, and you need people on both sides weighing in. That's what we have right now. So I tip my hat to Goodell. But I did want to we do need to deconstruct and just try to get some common ground. People just raging against each other, right? Okay. Whether you agree with the president, don't agree with the president. Yeah, he's the president's at the game. Okay, the president's at the game. He's the president. Okay, show respect. Okay. And we'll continue with our democracy tomorrow and today and tomorrow, right? But let's do it in a respectful and civil way. Okay, that goes a long way, frankly. The little bit of experience that I have. If we can just hold off on some of the smoke and some of the fire for just a quick moment and just leave some opportunity for some common ground, it's amazing what can happen. Okay, so we will get to halftime show and folks' feelings on that. Okay, now we got to talk about the Chiefs. Talk about the Chiefs, right? Keep it classy, act like you've been there. All right, and for them, it's twofold, right? I'm thrilled the wealth is being spread. I'm thrilled the wealth is being spread here, folks. Okay, but the NFL stands for not for long. And it's a beautiful thing in that capacity because, you know what I mean? You can never, right? The Chiefs have made it, this run, and the perception that it's just every year thing. The Chiefs going to be in the conference championship. The Chiefs going to be in the Super Bowl. Acting as if the NFL doesn't stand for not for long, and then not all these other people that have been shut out. People that we talked about, AFC quarterbacks that we talked about. Okay, Aaron Rodgers on the move. Who knows where he's going to find a home? But Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' success have shut so many people out that now the crossroads is, will they continue to climb Mount Olympus to be able to get back there? Or is this honestly really a changing of the guard? For me, don't ask a question. I don't see an end in sight for the Chiefs Kingdom. I don't. Never mind how they were destroyed tonight. Because I can't believe it until I see it. From Josh Allen, and yes, Josh Allen, folks missed some passes. Lamar Jackson, most certainly. Mark Andrews, okay, much respect and for what you, but that was the Bill Buckner moment, clear as day. As fired up as I get about the horrendous pass interference call, and as much as I'm gonna say respect on Mark Andrews' name in terms of you went to Baltimore, but that cost Patrick Mahomes an opportunity. Cost Lamar Jackson an opportunity to usurp Patrick Mahomes, to show something. Okay, now granted, he was going against Josh Allen. That game was in Buffalo. It was brick cold, but that drop was monumental. Okay, and right, is Lamar gonna be able to get a Super Bowl close to his prime, or will he be in a situation like a John Elway, who's not going to get his shine to the absolute end of his career and go out a Super Bowl champion, but having been denied that honor throughout the course of his career? And when we speak about the John Elways and the Joe Montanas and the Dan Marinos and the Warren Moons of the world, in reference to Patrick Mahomes, it must always be noted when we talk about Mahomes and his greatness and yada, 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 he plays in a pillowcase NFL. He plays in a two-hand touch NFL. Okay? I'm talking now. We're gonna get right on this. I got to get, and the delay. We ain't gonna have no long delay. Okay. That's what he does. You heard me. We're gonna do top 10 for Elway. We're gonna do top 10. Hold on. Come back. And not only is this my childhood, not only are we talking awesome 80s, but it's just going to the point of, first of all, respect. Right? Let's come on, share the screen. Share the screen. We doing top 10 for Elway. Okay? And why are we, but you know what I mean? Because frankly, I feel we need more respect on Elway's name. We need more respect on our 80s quarterback's name. Because, right, this is real football that they're playing out here, folks. Okay? Knock you out football that was going on in this time. And you know, the Steve Youngs, the John Elways, the mobile quarterbacks. Okay? You know, and it's not, we're not Mahomes and the greatness, but let's preface that with the fact and the reality that the rules allow, Mahomes, opportunities that the former guys did not have. Okay? Let's see if we can get some John Elway on the move. This is the Elway I'm talking about. Right? On the move, running, dodging, taking the punishment. This is the Elway. Okay? Versus today, Patrick Mahomes slides and you put a finger on him and it's an automatic penalty. No. Yes. All right? Full physicality football. Now, the game has, we do need to get some of the things and the targeting and especially the blindside hits, especially though, you know what I mean? Certain things do need to go. Right? Horse collar, okay, hip drop, how you feel about the hip drop tackle. I didn't necessarily have as much of a problem, but fine. Speaking of the Sharp brothers. All right, let's see if we can get an awesome 80s. No, they come in, 90s, Okay, but bust a move, John? No. Getting good offensive lines in Denver. Is that Uncle Shannon again? I believe so. Okay, you get the point, folks. Get the point. Shannon, 80 or 84? I think he was 84. I'm not mistaken. The Chiefs, folks. Patrick Mahomes. I'm picking him to get back. I'm not handing it over to anybody until they take it. But next year, okay, if we finally get a chance to see a Josh Allen and a Lamar Jackson represent the AFC, now, are we going into that time of drought? Whereas, now let's remember again, Patrick Mahomes did not get a young Andy Reid. He inherited an old Andy Reid, right? So talking about John Elway, there's going to have to be a Dan Reeves to Mike Shanahan transition somewhere in his career. The torch is going to have to be passed. And the question is going to be, because, right, I was wrong in the Belichick Brady dichotomy. I was Team Belichick. Wrong. Tom Brady was the straw that stirred the drink for the Patriots dynasty. Okay, so I'm not going to be wrong again when it comes to the Chiefs. And to suggest that Andy Reid has not benefited from having Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback rather than, and I ain't throwing nobody, we ain't going to say no names, but he had other quarterbacks when he was going to conference championships games, and he did not have the same success as when he had Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to just state it that way. I'm stating it that way. Okay, and so for the Chiefs kingdom and the Chiefs dynasty, so on and forth, and their ownership and their general manager, they, you got to get the head coach right. And not that Andy Reid is going anywhere, and he loves to coach, and he's doing, and he can coach, and but he's in, Andy Reid is, in his 70s, as I understand it. We'll get the specific age, but Tom Brady had a young Bill. Patrick Mahomes has an old Andy. So that's going to be, right, for the second half of his career, and whether or not, will he have caught lightning in a bottle? And he's going to have all the success early on, or will it be maintained over the course of his career to approach Tom Brady's 7 Super Bowls? Is that going to be how it's going to go down for Patrick Mahomes? Another thing I got to wonder right now, let's get this for you on the screen. How much longer is Travis Kelce going to be out there? As long as Kelce going to be out there. Get Kelce for you. Right? Because or is the celebrity thing gonna let's come over here. You know where I'm going with this. Let's get Kelce. Let's get Mahomes. Let's get the crew. Right? Let's get the crew. Right? This is important because let's break it down, folks. How much longer is this thing going to be going for? Okay? No thanks. No thanks. Right? Are they going to keep it going? Or is this going to be what stirs the drink for the Chiefs? Now, am I saying that you can't celebrate and have a good time? Right? Work hard, play hard type mentality. Okay? No, always keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing must always remain the main thing. Let's look. There's no two ways about that. Okay? But when we're talking about the Chiefs and we're talking about next steps with this franchise, I do wonder, and where, how they respond to this adversity and being on the outside. And are they going to be, is it going to be a Sisyphus situation where they roll all the way back down to the hill? Now, when everything rolls back all the way back down to the bottom. Now, we haven't seen, come on now, we don't need this. Let's come back to that doggone screen. Get these ads out of here. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Okay, but this, I hope they're able to navigate. I'm happy for Kelce. Good, I'm happy for Taylor. I'm happy for them. I'm happy. Shine bright. Live your life. Be positive, be productive, uplift people. All right? But all of this flows together so much more seamlessly when you're winning. Okay, not that you can't celebrate and have your times. I appreciate, Russell Wilson and Sierra still having the forward-facing attitude and approach and everything else when they've gone through hard times. Okay? That speaks to me. Russell Wilson, when people were, and he had his ups and downs in Pittsburgh, but he kept smiling and kept living his life in a positive fashion when the chips were down. But from the Chiefs standpoint, this is new. And they've lost Super Bowls before and came back. All right. They lost to Tampa Bay, and that was a one-sided Super Bowl. Wasn't close, wasn't down to the wire. So they've been here before. But there was no, that was before the Swift takeover. That was before the Swifties took over. And so that's night and day. Okay? Night and day now where you are a power couple with one of the most dominant forces in the popular culture. Okay? And again, this is going to tie right into the next, because we have to talk about the halftime show. I talk about the halftime show and people, come in, and I express yourself. But if Taylor Swift was to do a halftime show, okay, I would be lost. I'd watch it because I watch the Super Bowl and just try to learn a thing or two, and for the commercials. But I have no, I don't, and I'm sure Taylor Swift has songs that I know just because but I'm not a Swiftie. Maybe I should be a Swiftie. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Shout out to the Swifties. Though. I ain't throwing no shade. You know what I mean? So we will discuss that, the cultural pieces of the halftime show. But it's night and day difference, how Travis Kelce was living before when he was losing Super Bowls and in terms of how he's living now. He can't get away. And he's a popular guy. He has a great podcast. He has a great story. His family, you know what I mean? Mom was at the Super Bowl, Eagles and Chiefs, with the split jersey. So he's a dynamic dude. My homeboy's a dynamic dude. They've been able to balance, success and professionalism, work-life balance throughout their career to be who they are. Okay, but they've consistently won. And so if that winning is not as consistent and they still have all these star obligations, will specifically Kelce have the longevity, okay, of other great tight ends? Tony Gonzalez, Gronk, who left and came back, so on and forth. And then you say to yourself, right, Patrick Mahomes could be losing, will be losing at some point in his career, Travis Kelce and Andy Reid. So what are those years going to look like for my homeboy? Okay? And again, I can't bet against the man. I can't bet against the man at all. I'm saying he's going to navigate those waters. But I do feel that's where it's going. That's where it's going. Okay, so shout out to the Eagles. Big time. I'm thrilled. We're coming at you when we're coming at you. It's a beautiful thing. And the Chiefs, you got to take the good with the bad. That's one of my local people told you got to take the good with the bad. So you've been on top, and now you know what I mean. You done fallen just short. But they're a first class organization, so I think they're going to get right back to work. If not tomorrow, certainly middle of next week, they're going to start building for 2026, 2025, 2026. They're going to start building, and they'll be right there. Okay, so let's break down right halftime show, and first of all, like I said, don't know Kendrick very well. Know that there was the rivalry with him and Drake on back and forth. Honestly, I felt that as much as that consumed people was avoidable. My honest opinion on that. And okay, you got to have your battles every so often in hip hop, and and this person, it's just right a pat, Nas and Jay-Z, and so we haven't really gotten to the truce part, which is where I hope that gets to, frankly. Keep it on wax and go back and forth and stuff like that. But right, Why are, the members of a community raging against members of that community? Okay. And Drake clearly is biracial, right? His dad is African American, as is well known. But specific to the halftime show, um, you know, from the show standpoint, first of all those people coming out of that, what was it, an Impala, whatever it was, that was awesome. That was cool. Special effects side of you know what I mean? People just running through it, that was. And then all of the, no yawning on SandCity Sports, right? All of the choreography back and forth, super cool. Samuel L. as the hype man in the American, super cool. Um, and yeah, the president was there. Great. Sometimes presidents will be at the Super Bowl, sometimes they won't. Trump, he goes to a lot of athletic events, UFC. So that's how his style. So okay. So, of course, entertainers have their political slants and takes, and so everybody's in the same space. America is in the same space. And the president is there and has a way, his philosophy, ideology. So, and Kendrick is there, and he's the entertainer, and he's going to say what he's going to say, and that's America. That's life. Okay. And whatever tension there may be in those moments and instances, that it's necessary, and how we respond and work through, it is the end all be all. Right? Okay, so let's get it for you on the screen. And so my thing, you know what it is. Google already knows what it is. Okay, let's go ahead and share. No, 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 no. You got to be X'd out. You're messing around with me. You got to be X'd out. I just need to see the imagery. That's what I need. I don't need all of the videos and everything else. Thank you. Shout out to the Times. Paper of record. Shout out. Times already got the article out. Right? Again, do I know and all of the underlying meaning and urban America, suburban America, rural America, why he has an A on his, what the A means on his chain. Yeah, this is Roger Goodell at his best. All right? Because I'm talking about it, fascinated by it, drawing all sorts of different connections and so on and forth from it. And that's what that is the purpose of the halftime show, right? Just like the purpose of a betting line is to get equal action on both sides. The purpose of the halftime show is to get equal response on both sides, which this, is, has been incredibly successful at doing. Okay. Right. Would I love a Taylor Swift halftime show? That's the one big part of it in terms of the reactions. If you're familiar with the artist, if you're familiar with the genre, you're going to obviously vibe with it much more than if you were not. So let's get that right out there and central to this. If you're not familiar with Kendrick Lamar, if you're not familiar with his music, if you're not familiar with hip hop, It's going to be challenging for you to appreciate and understand what the show represented. Vice versa with me and Taylor Swift and the Swiftie revolution and everything that's going on, in that, world. There's the cultural piece, then there's the age piece. He's a younger guy. I'm no longer a spring chicken. Some of us, and then right? Then there is the regional piece, the cultural, the age, and the regional piece. Okay, you had Serena out there doing her dance, but that's what we've seen surrounding Kendrick Lamar when he's performed from Compton, and so people that come out that are from LA and Compton area, they're gonna experience his shows in a way that's different than those of us that aren't from Compton or from the West Coast or anything like that. Okay, bottom line, end of story. The more that we can take these things with a grain of salt, receive what can be received, recognize what we don't understand, ask some questions about things, ask some clarifying questions about things that we don't understand, to try to get that feedback, try to get on us, to hopefully get on the same page and move forward in a direction where we can get some, momentum to get things done. That's the end all be all. All right. But Goodell is on the way to getting, Goodell gonna have a private jet, not just for himself, but for like his friends. Goodell's gonna manufacture a deal where just if you play golf with Goodell, you get a private jet, unlimited access. Unlimited access. By the way, speaking of which, I saw there's so much, and we're going to continue to talk. And I can't do it. I can't do that. Let me see if I can. Right. I got so many things. I don't know. Shout out to IG. IG hits me up with so many like words of wisdom and perspectival stuff as I'm going through the stream. Now, to a certain extent, it means I spend more time there than I otherwise should have. But beyond that, I just feel like, this is just helpful information for me. I don't know if you've seen with the AI, they have, and now this is like, I almost have to show you. I can't just be talking to you about stuff and not show you stuff. So let me see if I can get Instagram, if it's going to take me. Okay. So I might be able to do this. This is an important part of the episode here. We dealing with the technology because obviously I'm live on the IG on one piece, on one venue. And folks that's rocking with me, I appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, good, bad, or indifferent. SandCity Sports, for the people, by the people, all that good stuff. All of that good stuff. So we're going to get this for you. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Because I got to show you, IG, there's just so many nuggets and words of wisdom. You know what I mean? And they just hit me off with so much. See the Hubie Brown doing his thing and all the relation type stuff. But I got to get this. Oh, man. How do I, let me see if I copy if I copy the link, can I play the link over here? And it's just, no, you gave me it's the wrong link. Hold on. My bad, people. We're going to get this right. We're going to get this right because it's important. I want to share and see how people feel about. Yes, that's the view that I needed. Now I can share the screen. Okay, we getting good with this. We got a couple more things we got to break down here. We got a couple more things we got to do. I know it's getting late, but we got to, and I got to, you know what I mean? I got to get a snack of Rudy. We got to get a snack of Rudy, late night snack of Rudy, and get ready to get after it tomorrow. Okay? But the brave new world that we're living in, have you seen these, where it says you wake up as a pirate in 1715 AD, and it just breaks down what life was like in a different, like with accuracy? Speaking of the first world problems that I have, the patrician problems, You know, and you think now AI is just going crazy in a number comparison. This is one of the positive iterations, as far as I'm concerned. This is one of the positive iterations where it's like, yeah, this is a day in a life. If you was just a working class hero, and then it goes back to different eras, different generations. Okay, well, what does this have to do with Kendrick Lamar, folks? What has to do with Kendrick Lamar in a halftime show is I'm not a 20 something or a teenager I don't know, a lot of what he's saying and how it resonates. But if you was, to go back, we love to hear the story how the thugs live in worry. They duck down in car seats, mandatory, running from Jake's. These are the mistakes. These are the breaks. Many mistakes go down out of state. Wait, I had to lead it marinate. We carry. Okay, that I ruled the world. That do 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 do. So if they did that at the halftime show when I was a young warthog, and then some of the old heads wanted to criticize, we would have had a problem. You put some respect on Najee Jones' name. You put some respect on Lauryn Hill's name. You don't come with no disrespect. Okay? And that's my point about the halftime show. The young people that's really rocking with Kendrick, okay, or Drake, or whoever it is that they rock with, but it impacts their life much more. Okay, the older folks, we don't, So before you go ahead and pile on the show, let's just recognize, that generational disconnect, and that generational distinction might be a better word. Okay, and that's why we have this, like what life was, and never mind if you're a sailor and whatever, even though this is incredibly interesting for the history of people, just in terms of what we think of problems versus what the previous generations. I didn't get a response on a IG follow quick enough, or somebody, you know what I mean? And these things are real, and I'm not saying it's not real, but in perspective, in terms of human beings over the course of thousands of years, let's also remember that. Let's also remember that. Okay, so shout out to the IG, and they're doing a lot of really interesting things. The words of wisdom. Okay, we're gonna bring this home. We're gonna bring this home. We're gonna bring this home in terms of what I'm talking about. We're gonna bring it home in terms of what I'm talking about. I got to do one more. To kind of talk about something. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Now. Right? This is my rejoiner. Right? We're going to stop sharing the old screen. Okay? I'm going to stop sharing that. I got one more clip I got to get to. We got to get to. All right? And I've discussed my feelings. Okay? I think a lot of it is the cultural piece. Is it really offensive to me? That Serena Williams, the greatest women's basketball. And of course, here we go. Roger Goodell is laughing all the way to the bank. Your man Goodell is laughing all the way to the bank. This halftime show is front page. Goodell, man, you want to talk about being good at your job? I need to work. I don't know. Goodell, whether I got it. And shout out to Goodell. You remember when the Super Bowl was during the pandemic? That was one of the best Super Bowl drafts ever. They had cameras in everybody's house. Goodell was in the studio. Bill Belichick had his dog on Nantucket making draft picks. That was an awesome Super Bowl doing a global event. And Goodell was sitting in the chair. And then finally, for the later rounds, he was sitting back, had his feet up. Goodell's a genius. I'm sorry. He's on another level. He's on another level. He knows. All right. And again, folks, the whole Kendrick Lamar, I saw this the other day. Right, and this is again when I had to get back to the tri-state area. We on I-95 in Connecticut, and they're talking about the young folks. Now, don't try this at home. That's not what I'm saying at all. Okay, this is not legal, not safe, shouldn't. Okay, but okay, that established, right? My view. Okay. I got to sit down just looking at this. And never mind, you shouldn't be doing this on a major interstate highway. That's first of all, okay? If you're going to do this stuff, go to the racetrack, gather around, and do this type of stuff. But the headline is, this generation is different out here in CT. The generation is different. Right? And that's my Kendrick Lamar take for a lot of it. He's younger. He's expressing. Okay? Now, again, we are saying, let's just be clear. You don't shut down an interstate highway. And safety first, and this needs to be cleared out. Okay? Late, so lesser traffic, but still, you shouldn't be doing it. Okay? But the point is, you get older, you don't have the fire of life. Right? Ken Burns' Civil War documentary. We have shared the incommunicable. We have shared the incommunicable experience of war. We have felt, we still feel the passion of life to its top. In our youths, our hearts were touched with fire. Oliver Wendell Holmes. Okay? If you don't know of Ken Burns and his work, check it out. But that's the halftime show in a nutshell. Kendrick, talented guy. People respect you. Okay? Use it for positive means, positive initiatives. Okay? And everybody else, as we, that's one facet of the show. Okay? Take the good that was there in it. Okay? A couple things need to be corrected, acknowledge, okay? And let's keep it pushing, and not allow something, to divide, and frankly, to destroy a lot of goodwill that could be cultivated if we gave each other the benefit of the doubt. Okay? So thank everybody that's with us. This is a Super Bowl episode of SandCity Sports. Had to get with you. Weren't able to discuss my New York Knicks as much, but we will. But we will. No doubt about that. New York, stand up. Even though you took a beating against the Celtics. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get it right. All-Star game is coming up. Number of other great things. Okay. But I am your host, the Cape Cod Kid, artist formerly known as Andre King. This is SandCity Sports. Appreciate you so much. And we're going to see y'all again the next time. Peace.